and welcome to a happy book birthday. Yay! Today I have the beautiful Melissa with me. Welcome, welcome. Happy book birthday.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Great to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited. Tell me about where did you get the idea for your amazing book?
Well, I'm a pediatric occupational therapist by profession, and I've been working with children for about 15, 16 years. And I was getting a lot of referrals for children with handwriting and learning difficulties that were struggling with reading and spelling. And I know that there's a lot of research that supports how combined handwriting, reading and spelling is. And being a therapist, I knew that. And also I have homeschooled my 5 children. And so I've had access to all of your Pearson and Macmillan, all your major publishers, and I used all the Australian curriculum resources. And I was just finding, how can I help these children to break down particularly their first words that they learn when they're in prep in year 1 here in Queensland. And so I came up with this grid, which I'll show you. This is the book. It's Learn to Read, Write and Spell with Ricardo's English Word Grid. So I have trademarked my little character. And I don't know if you can see it here.
Yep.
He's a trademarked little character.
Yeah,
and so I found a beautiful illustrator on freelance, and her name's Monica Broadley, and she did a brilliant job. And I had the idea because I was basically getting children because we do visual perceptual assessments and break down what's happening and work with speech therapists, etc., and learning support and what's happening with the child. So I was getting them to break down the little parts of words and put those words on the top of the page, and that's what your spelling list is, and you break it all up. And so I just came up with this grid, which was just fantastic. So I've got it on the top, the front of the page. That's fantastic. And it just worked. And it breaks up the beginning sounds and the end sounds. So it's perfect for little preppies. And it's actually got your 230 of your CVC, or your consonant, vowel, consonant, your 3-letter short vowel words. It's pretty much got every word in the English language that's not rude. So it was a process going through every word, because a lot of your books in your spelling units maybe just include 10 of your, say, cat, bat, rat, and then they mix them up and they go mug, man, cat, rat, and they might be all in one spelling list. And so children that have a bit of difficulty with either your seeing it or sounding it or writing it, those 3 memories of the word, the muscle memory, the hearing and the seeing, can find it tricky. So mine's divided into chapters. So you've got 9 chapters based on the endings. So you've got all of your ab, eb, ib, ob, ub, your ad, ed, id, od, ud, and you've got your letter G, ag, egg, ig, og, ug. So I've got the endings of the words, and they're in a chapter. So there's 9 chapters in the book, and they've each got a picture. So you can't really talk about it without showing you, really.
Yes, please.
Yeah, my favourite is the letter T, and it's the letter T meets the short vowels at, it, ot, and it's my favourite because I actually have songs that I've started to write with each of the chapters. So I'm hoping for 9 songs, and so far I've got 3, and they've been put into an app. And I've got, see here, you've got the letter T meets at and t together we say at, et and t together we say et. So they're characterised little characters. So the teachers, learning support, or parents at home that are homeschooling can do the initial letter sound, at and t together we say at, et and t together we say et, and you go through. And then in the grid, you've got those at the top, at, et, it, ot, ut. And then you've got the onset or the beginning sound down the bottom, so the child can go b, at, bat, k, at, cat. And these are nonsense words, those ones. Yeah, and then you can go across, so you've got bat, bet, bit, but. And Monica did a fantastic job, because I can't draw. And all 230 of the words have the picture. And this chapter alone is 46 words in the at, et, it, ot, ut word family. And yeah, so I just love it. And I've got the word list at the back for your homeschooling mums or teachers. And so you can use those spelling lists. And it's really been excellent.
That's
for your year one and
amazing.
preppies.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then
That
I've
is
got
great.
it's good as you progress. You just the other thing I just thought as we were talking that it progresses to no pictures.
Pictures,
So the children can then not use the picture as a cue, but the picture's there when they need it. And that's the book and that's the grid, and I love it. It was a lot of work, but it's definitely, as you know, a lot of work to publish the book.
Yes, absolutely. And, I think as a mum of a preppy who did struggle a lot with reading and especially his writing, something like that is great because it doesn't feel like work. When you try and get them to do something and they know that it's going to teach them something and they're like, no, I don't want to do it. So I love how fun it is. So is there anything else like fun that you've incorporated into the book as well?
Yeah, well, in the book I've been into prep classes, and with the book I put up on the screen, or parents can have at home, the songs, so I can play a snippet of one of my songs if you like. So I'll do the screen share. We'll go with where's my mouse gone? Don't you love it when you lose the mouse?
Your mouse is in the book.
Yeah, it's in the book. Here it is. So I'll go, it went all the way over. So we'll screen share. And we should get, are you seeing that?
Yes.
Great. So I'll just hit play and we'll just do like 10 seconds. And this is I've got 3 apps, and it's in, there's an app per chapter, and this is in the letter T word grid app, which is available on Apple and Google. And so parents and children and teachers can incorporate it with the book.
And together we say at. And together
I'll just stop it there.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. Don't you love it?
I love it. I love it. Anything
I love it.
that gets kids to learn without them actually knowing that they're learning, I just think is amazing, because we struggled a lot with the home readers this year. He did, and especially now that they're starting to learn the rules of English. And he's a very practical kid, and English loves to make rules and then break them.
But the rules, I know.
And he struggles with that because he said, hang on a second, you told me that the rule was this, and then now this is break. It's just like, oh, honey, it's English. You just got to let it go.
Yeah, I know. And who made up? I've had those conversations. Like, where did it come from? The King of England somewhere. And, years ago. Why is it still like that today? And it's so true. And children can be very literal. And that's what I found with why I love, because the music and the movement and the play. So those the play-based learning, and having 4 boys and then working as a therapist, that play-based learning is so vital. So parents and children, that video is in my app, and children can watch it and engage with the book. And then I've got other songs that are on YouTube that are freely available for your little ones that might struggle with putting the sounds together, like your at and t, and they may not necessarily know all their vowel sounds, their at, e, or a. So I've got a song on YouTube that teaches the short vowels at, e, or a, that goes with the grid. And in the apps, you've got the interactiveness of the grid. So in the app, you can press and makes, or j and makes Jan, and if you press the wrong box, it goes and Ricardo says no, try again. So the child actually gets that reward. So with the book, parents love it because they can actually sit there and go through and learn with their child, and you don't need to have any skill as a parent in that way of being a teacher, because you can just support whatever word list they're doing at school or you're doing in your homeschooling program. And what I love is that I specifically had Monica include, like if we go to rut, I did this with a prep class and I loved it because I said to the children, what does this picture mean? And you can see I've got rut here. What's this? And they were saying, well, they're bogged, they're in the mud. And I said, that's right, when you're bogged and you're in the mud, it makes a rut. And so then I said, let's go to this and go to my bog word And guess what I've got, which I just love this because children love it. Guess what I've got for bog? I've got the same car that's bog.
Oh, that's so cool.
Children love it. And so when they're doing their first sentences, this extends your vocabulary, which is part of, it aligns with the National Foundation English curriculum and the U1 curriculum. There's strands there that aligns with. So you can extend their vocabulary and they can say, now, Mum, I can write that, it was bogged, or it, there was a bog, or there was a rut. And it's extending their vocabulary, and I just really love it. And it's helping children, helping parents, and it's good for groups like learning support in groups of 2 or 3.
Yeah. So, I just think that's just, I wish I had this when I was doing homeschooling with Tommy, because even as a parent who's had a lot of experience in the classroom and as an author as well, I struggled to help him with exactly that kind of thing. And I think the fact that they, the kids, especially the preppies, are trying to learn, and they will listen to everyone except you. If someone else tells them exactly the same thing, they'll do it. And having all of this play-based learning, especially for Tommy, who does, he struggles with all of that. I think that this is fabulous. So if somebody wants to get a copy of it, or get in contact with you to come and do a prep visit, or even just talk about how you actually developed it, where's the best way for them to
contact me? Yeah, sure. You can get in touch with me by my website, which is ricardoreadingmouse.com.au, which I know you'll pop into the description below.
Sure will.
And it'll have a contact us. You can contact me, and I'm also active on Facebook under Melissa Savonoff, and also have a Ricardo Reading Mouse Children's Educational Resource page. And then I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. But it is fantastic because my older boys' curriculum, what they're learning now in prep was in the Year 2 curriculum. So that's what I think it's making it's a lot more difficult when I speak with teachers. They have so much curriculum they need to get through, and the early years teachers are very much aware of the movement-based learning, but they've got so much, the little preppies being crammed with versus what they were learning in Year 2. And also the books, like I was finding with my children using their standard curriculum ones, that having the units that they do go through very quickly. And for the children I was seeing in my work and my own children, if they weren't ready to progress beyond your short vowel 3-letter words, and they were suddenly going to your long vowel, like you were saying, your son learning the new rules, there wasn't any scope and capacity to actually divert and go to more short vowel words just to build that foundation. So that's why I love the book, because it's got every word in there. And if children need longer, you can go through and learn every word, every 3-letter word, and have that confidence to be able to spell them, write them, draw them, and before you move on to your long vowel sounds, which can be confusing for children if they're not ready for it. So,
absolutely. And I do feel as well with the program at schools, of course it's a necessary evil, but having the reading levels and having, Tommy really struggles with that because he is not at a high reading level, and automatically he thinks, I'm done.
I know, it's so sad.
And I love that your program lets them go at their own pace. They get rewarded, each step of the way, and there's no levels or comparisons, and it's just about, this is you learning as you go. So as a mum, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. If only we'd met earlier, you could have had the book.
But you know what? I'm going to get it anyway, because I think as a parent of a preppy who struggles, I think being able to go over what he's learning this year and really get him super confident before they go to grade 1, where it all takes off like a rocket.
Yes, it does. It does. I think he would love it. He would love it, and you would love it, because you can say, guess what, Tommy? Do you know all the 46 words in the at, it, or are? And they're so easy with the vocabulary to say that particular word family and to write the letter T as well. And the other letters, but it's like they love the whole rhyming of it, and they can make silly songs. And I encourage parents, you can make silly songs, and the Logan City Council Library and the Brisbane City Council Library have both my books because I have an ABC picture one as well, and I've absolutely loved the Logan City Council Library. There hasn't been space at Brisbane to go and do workshops, but I've been doing, till COVID, was doing lots of workshops across the Logan City Council libraries in helping children to read, write, spell with the resources that the libraries have so beautifully got my books, and parents and teachers have been loving it. So it's so lovely to be able to share it with more people. And
I know, and you know, I'm going to share this far and wide because I think what you were saying about giving them the confidence to be able to go, you know what, I nailed that. Like, that's exactly what Tommy needs, because he's got dysgraphia. So he can tell you everything in his head. But then the minute he goes to write it down, he can't do it. And I think because you've got that I adore the multi-platform learning. So you've got the book and the songs and the app. Like, that's where I think that we really should be heading with our kids, because it's the play-based learning, it's the inclusion, it's not giving them a level. I just want to say thank you so much because I know how hard it would have been for you to work on this. I want to say thank you so much for a mum of someone who will really benefit from this program. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So what's next? What are you working on now?
Well, what was next is through COVID, my library workshops, and you couldn't go into the schools, which I absolutely love being before the children and the parents, and I've continued to see my individual children in my own private practice, but I really love the training with the parents and the teachers and the children as well in the group settings. And so I developed a Let's Get School Ready short online course for parents, which is about 2 hours of online content, and I released it last week. So it's got the cart open till next Tuesday for the first registration, and it's $39, and it basically is my last 15 years of experience as a clinician and as a mum homeschooling condensed into 2 hours of low-cost, practical, proven, play-based things that you can do with your child from 0 to 6 in a way that's non-threatening, and it actually is developmentally suitable and appropriate, and regardless of age, ability, resources, or parent education, you can actually dive in and go, wow, I'm my child's first teacher, I'm their first coach, and I'm their cheerleader. What am I going to do? And so I share brief things that you can do with balancing and balls and reading stories, and it's just very simple. But I've seen so many parents walk out of my one-on-one consultations, and because I've never worked from a therapy practice where I see parents every week, because I've been homeschooling my own children and work part-time, so very much have worked from the parent coaching and having parents on board to do home therapy 3 or 4 times a week, 10 or 15 minutes a day, and that's all ages and all different diagnoses. So I very much put that into practice for the course, and so that's what I have released, and it's available on my website, and it talks about my books. So
excellent. Well, I will definitely be putting a link there, and as a mum who's just gone through prep, highly recommend that.
Thank you so much.
Not just for the kids, but I think for me it was getting my head in the game too as well. Like, how do I be a cheerleader, and how do I be a coach, and how do I support my kid, because they do need that. We can't just leave it up to the teacher, especially if you have got a kid that struggles. So thank you again so much, and I am so excited that we could celebrate this book birthday with you, and hopefully we can do another book birthday very soon when your next book comes up.
I'd love to. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Take care. And thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely. Thank
Bye.
you.